King is Sing.
Sing is king. Okay, under an hour. It's exactly 10.
This
so
will
we
be
can
so
do it.
easy to do under an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
All right. Welcome to Fear of Stares, Desi Films Decoded, the podcast where four friends from different backgrounds unlock the world of Desi cinema. I'm Winnie, the Desi who's never been to India.
Hey, I'm Khilli. I'm from India. I love films, watching them. Yeah.
My name is Nicky, and today I learned that no matter what heinous crime you do, your family will always be there behind you.
I'm Adam. I'm from America. When Khilli does this, he sounds like he's like a kid trying to get adopted or something.
Love me, I love films.
I like movies and films, and I'll
Watching
sit
them.
quietly next to you. I promise.
Although he definitely doesn't do that while we watch a movie. He's a
No.
very vocal.
Oh my god! I brought
vocal-
this up with him. Don't give me that face. Watching Final Destination was the terrible next to him.
Yeah.
Nicky was there
I
too.
was there, man.
Okay,
I told that I'm going to watch Final Destination only on one condition, that I'm gonna talk during that film, and because I'm scared of that film.
I was conveniently seated on the opposite
Oh,
side.
it wasn't
of
just the
theater.
talking; it was the phone.
Yeah, I didn't
It
realize
was
that
like
the
a.
phone.
I know what you're trying to do. It's like it's too scary for you, so you try to fill it with your own noise,
Yeah.
so that it's
Yeah.
It,
Because I don't like watching like
I get
the
it.
suspense where someone might die right now.
But
And-
that-
Then why would you go watch? That's literally the
Yeah.
whole like
Why would I go
foundation
to
of
support
Final
my
Destination.
friends?
No, it's
that was the
funny.
literal reason of
It's
me-
funny because Nicky admitted he was scared before the movie. Keely was acting all tough.
No.
And then in the end, Keely reads the whole wiki plot or something
I
just so
said
he
I
could
don't
anticipate
like,
what
I don't
happens.
want to watch this film, and then I was going because like you guys like wanted to go.
He walked away from the hospital scene and then came back, and Urtaza was like, "Bro, you missed the whole thing," and you were like, "It's okay, I read it on Wikipedia."
I was taking a shit, and
I think
I
he
got it.
conveniently left at that moment,
that
so he
moment.
didn't have to witness
No,
that.
no, no.
Right.
I could sense something was coming, but I saw the hospital scene. But before watching the scene, I already read about it. Yeah.
wait, and you read it during the movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because it was like, I mean, I don't have any prestige value for watching. What is this called?
Like a
Final
horror movie.
Destination. Yeah, it doesn't have any respect in my eyes anyway. So
That is a bold statement.
That sucks
No
for you.
respect. Wow.
But no, I saw him like laughing the whole time, right?
no, at the beginning it was fun.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I talked to him afterwards, and I'm like, "How's the movie?" He's like, "Yeah, I didn't like it."
Is there
Like,
like a
why?
Bollywood equivalent of Final Destination? What would come closest?
No, I don't think they're so creative to make it fun and also gory. And also gore doesn't come on Bollywood as much.
Not sadistic.
Yeah.
I think this is like a big worldwide hit because it's like it's universal.
I think Bollywood
Mm.
finds different ways to torture you, kind of like what we just experienced with Sing is King, according to you guys.
Well, yeah. So let's talk about it. Winnie, introduce this film.
Okay, I guess I chose it, and it might be the last movie I get to pick for a while. But the movie Sing is King. It was released in 2009, I
I
think.
think it was 2008.
2008, starring Akshay Kumar. And I suggested it just because I had such fond memories of going to watch it. I don't really remember the movie. I think I was 11 or 12 at that point, but it was a pretty big event in Bangkok. Like a bunch of Thai Indians went to Central World Cinema. I had never seen the theater that packed. Samosas were flying around. It smelled like curry. It was, and you just met everyone, like my mom's trying to tell me like this person is that. So it was a pretty big monumental moment, memorable. Yeah, and that's why I suggested it. I'm Sikh, so a bit of Sikh pride. We haven't done a movie based on like that showcasing Sikhism yet in Bollywood, so this is both a good and a bad introduction to that, I think.
yeah.
How many times have you seen it?
Just the once in the cinema, and yeah, it's my first time again where like I actually remembered the plot, and it's quite different from what I remember. I thought it was a bit like prideful, celebrating Sikhs and all. Now it's a bit ridiculous as a movie. So
No, I watched it, and I thought this must have been your favorite movie. I feel like it was so formative for you. I'm very surprised you only saw it once. This is why I was telling you, like, you're discrediting my theory here, because I feel like this is like the text to everything you like and how you feel about things.
Okay, yeah, Adam has been saying this for the past week that he's not surprised I chose this movie. It's very me, and
Yeah.
have no idea what you mean by that.
I don't see you as a doofus.
Okay, no. That's not what I'm saying. I
Thank you
didn't.
for clarifying, Nicky.
I don't think she's the main character. Happy. I think this has everything for you. I think this has hip hop, right?
Snoop
Like,
Dogg. Dogg.
Yeah, I was like, maybe this is how you got introduced to hip hop. Yeah, it has some Sikh stuff. They are traveling around, right? So it has like a diaspora aspect. I was like, I bet you growing up, and this is probably like the funniest movie ever, and you like learned about Snoop Dogg and you learned about like, Sikhism and stuff, and I bet this was just your jam. And she does criminology.
Yeah, where every criminal should be killed. Like,
Yeah,
oh
but I was
my
like,
God.
but maybe she got some like sociology ideas from this too. I feel like it just has
Oh.
everything that you're interested in this one movie, and maybe you don't know it, but maybe it was like the seeds of everything.
Yeah, maybe it lives in me subconsciously.
Yeah, you wanna discount everyone of their guilt and find the good person in them.
It's
Like,
true.
like Happy or Lucky, whatever the name was.
Yeah,
Who's
like
the main character? Happy or Lucky?
Jesus Christ, Happy.
Happy, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but I think that might just be Sikh values then. Maybe that is kind of
Correct.
the common ground here. Yeah.
Was it when you say like you saw everyone in the theater? Was it like a limited screening or something, or it was like the thing? What I'm trying to say is like it was a film screened for like a very limited period of time
Yeah.
or something like that.
I mean, back then there weren't too many Bollywood films that were showing in the cinema
Yeah.
in Thailand. It was quite rare, only the big hits. So I remember this was just like one Sunday, everyone ended up there.
Mm.
Even now, if you go watch some of the big Bollywood films in cinema, you'll still see a bunch of Thai Indians. But now it's become more like everyday thing. They're showings.
Yeah.
So it's not as like people don't kind of like congregate there anymore.
Yeah, last month, like last few weeks, I've seen this another brain dead Bollywood film is being screened there. Houseful, Part 5.
Isn't that also Akshay Kumar?
I think he's
Houseful?
there. Yeah,
Mm,
it's also like a brain dead franchise now.
yeah.
Was everyone Sikh in the theater?
I mean, like when I say Thai Indian community, most of us are Sikh here. Not all for sure, but it is the predominant representation. And I think that's why the Sikh diaspora is quite global, like because a lot of us left during the partition. So like the biggest Indian diaspora in England, for instance, is Sikh Punjabi. Same for Canada. And so I think that's why this movie also featured that like international element where they go to Australia. It is also a big Sikh diaspora there to kind of appeal a little bit more to like the NRI, non-resident Indian crowd. I guess that was the period where Bollywood was trying to go global and international.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into it, but I just do you remember your life before and after this movie? Did it have a big effect on you?
It really was not that pivotal. I feel like I'm disappointing you or breaking
You
some
are.
kind of illusion.
This was the only thing I had to talk about. This is my only angle for this
It
movie.
did not
The
make me
podcast
as a
over.
movie.
Ah, shit. All right, so let's do the plot then, because I
Yeah.
got nothing.
So there's this like okay, so Sing is King refers to this like mob boss. He's this guy that's like his name is Lucky. He's known as the King, and like he's in Australia, and he has like this criminal empire, and we get to learn more about how powerful he is. We get this like really crazy shootout scene, and we also get to learn more about his like henchmen, which I thought was a
Yeah.
nice touch because like they're actually important characters, as we'll soon
Yes.
find out, right? Like every single one of his henchmen has like a personality, and they have lines of dialogue that's not just like throwaway or anything. So I can appreciate that. His brother is like this blind deaf dude that like is done for comic relief. Where
Yeah.
like whenever some shootout happens, he'll be pointing the gun in the wrong direction.
It was funny.
I mean, it's funny.
I like that
First
guy.
5 times.
Yeah,
maybe.
Javed Joffrey, right?
Mika,
Yeah.
right?
Mika, that was
yeah.
it. That was his name.
Mika.
Mika. Like the
I thought it was
song.
all
Yeah.
right.
His name is Javed Jaffrey. He's a very good dancer. Like he was known for his dance skills. I think he has also a dance number towards the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
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 there's a
yeah.
Yeah.
song, Mika.
Yeah, for given the how big his empire is like his like security is totally screwed up. Like his security is like really bad. He gets attacked left and right all the time.
So they have he's like this powerful boss. He doesn't want to go back because of course he's a wanted criminal. We get to learn how powerful he is. I already said that, and then we get like this quick chase scene where he jumps off like a building through a parachute, but somehow the parachute flies back up after grabbing the guy he was chasing. I don't know. It defies all movie logic. But anyway, he's part of this like little village that our main character's in. His name is Happy, and Happy is like he's like I want to describe him as like a village idiot with a heart of gold. Is that
That's pretty accurate. Yeah,
is
that
how
sums it
I
up.
would
Yeah.
describe it. He's always wanting to help people, and I'm sure Winnie will be able to explain that about the nature of what Sikhs should be doing, which plays a bigger role. But basically, he likes to help out people, which is nice. But in doing so, he keeps like fucking things up for the village. Like
He's clumsy.
he's really clumsy. He bumps into things, crashes, and makes things like fall apart.
But, like,
Chasing a chicken.
You guys are making it sound cute, but like next level. Like he left half the village homeless just trying to catch a chicken to make butter chicken. Like this
Yeah,
guy is-
it's so annoying.
Like he's very physically clumsy and makes a huge mess and runs around chasing stuff and just like destroys buildings.
Yeah, pretty much.
But people like him because
he means well.
He means well.
yeah, it's
And
not
also-
malicious. Okay.
And also, I think his grandfather is the like a village head.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
learned about that as well.
Yeah.
Very rich. He just has like a rich granddad that pays everyone off
Yeah.
to deal with like happy shit.
And one thing I noticed about this movie is that they always give background stories for characters, and then it never gets mentioned ever again throughout the story. I can think of a few examples, but first, like basically, like in that village, right? There's this like father. He's basically Lucky's father.
Mhm.
He gets sick, and then the village started thinking of a plan about how like, hey, yeah, maybe we should hire Happy to go to Australia and get him back. But not because they want him to get the guy back. They want to get rid of Happy. So then they send off Happy along with his like friend. I forgot his name.
That
but, like,
old guy, Ragadish.
right,
Rangpali, who's also a famous actor.
Rangila.
Yeah, Ompuri.
Rangila.
Rangila. Ompuri.
Rangila.
Ompuri is a really good actor. Like he's from a previous generation.
I
He's-
think we've seen Ompuri in another movie. He was also in another movie that we've seen.
Have we watched Ompuri's acting?
I think we did. I'm
can't
quite sure
remember
we
right
did.
now. Okay,
I can't
okay.
remember. Well, let us know, chat. Anyway.
Live. We have live chat. Nobody's saying anything.
So they send off Happy and Rangila to the airport, and then they get like this quick little mix up. They bump into someone who will find out later, where they get like their plane tickets switched up, and I don't know why they didn't stop. I don't know why they didn't realize that they had the wrong tickets, but they ended up in Egypt, and we get like this whole. I honestly feel like the movie crew just had a lot of money left and say, hey, you know what? Maybe we should do a trip, and then they went to Egypt because like I felt like that whole bit of Egypt only serves to like
Introducing the
Introduce-
love interest.
so his
Maybe
love
that's
interest.
it.
His love
I think
interest.
Egypt paid them.
Yeah.
Like they paid them to like promote Egypt as a tourist place.
But
I
they didn't
guess.
show anything in the was there? Oh, the music number, right?
Yeah.
They were dancing
Oh,
in
yeah.
like in the pyramids and like in the
Oh,
some
yeah.
heritage site.
I think
don't
they're on the
remember.
beach or something too. They were going all around.
So basically, they ended up in Egypt, and then it was an excuse for our main hero to explore the country, and basically he bumped into Katrina Kaif's character, which is our female lead. Her name is Sonia again. We have Sonia again. And she's like this, like really pretty. Like, okay, wait, she's really pretty. I was gonna say.
Yeah, she's very pretty.
She's very pretty. I think she's hot. And basically, she was like getting her bag snatched by some thief, and then you get like this long-winded chase scene where like he falls in love with her, and they get to spend time together. But of course, he had to go to Australia, so he just
Good
did
way
his
to
part.
promote tourism in Egypt.
Yeah,
Stolen
that means
from.
that they probably didn't pay for that.
That's true.
But it is an accurate representation.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
But
Sounds true.
Yeah.
I've heard many stories.
Yeah, many stories.
one thing I did notice in during the Egypt sections is that like all the people there are speaking English.
But that's every Bollywood movie. They all completely ignore whatever country they're in, and they either like speak Hindi or English or whatever wherever
Yeah.
they want to go.
Yeah. They can't promote Arabic in a Bollywood movie.
They actually spoke
No.
Arabic at some point. Katrina Kaif spoke a bit of Arabic
yes.
to someone in
The
in
vendor.
Egypt. I remember. Yeah, the vendor, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's there. But
But yeah, just completely unnecessary. Like the Egypt being there didn't serve the plot point in any way at all.
It did not. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to ask you, Adam, is that like throughout the movie you have some English speakers, but I think me and Winnie and Khilli were talking about it. Like we don't know if they're speaking in a British accent or an Australian accent. There was like a lot of like English speakers there in throughout the movie, but
Australian.
they come off as British to me. I don't know.
I feel like it's Australian. It makes more sense.
Well, I don't
They're
know.
in Australia.
Like,
Sense
hired
in this
British.
movie. Wow.
okay, when you mess up your like boarding pass, but it's not on the same name, right?
yeah.
So you will be stopped at the gate, or they're like 100 times checking before you get on an airplane.
You guys cannot try to rationalize this movie. It defies all logic. They're in the airport in Egypt and they announce the loudspeaker is saying, "Welcome to Egypt." And the guy's like, "No, it's just a new name. Like how Bombay is Mumbai and
Oh yeah, I remember cringing.
Egypt
at
is
that
now
line.
Australia is now Egypt."
So confident.
Yeah.
It's just pure confidence. And then Happy like fights with the security guards at the airport. And then before they go back, like he does admit he fell in love with Sonia.
Yeah.
So now his heart's with Sonia. He loves her, but they go to Australia.
They go to Australia and they tried to look for his brother, but they had some. I remember they had some like difficulty at first trying to find a place to stay. Basically, like he meets like this woman who's also Indian, and she's like she's selling flowers, and she shows him some kindness, in a foreign land, and basically like that
Adopts him in one night.
in one night, yeah.
He's working for her the next day.
Yeah, and I thought the movie was gonna go in a different direction there because, like, I thought, oh, okay, maybe this is just like him trying to make a living here in Australia.
He falls in love with the mom.
I actually thought Rangila would fall in love with the mom.
That would be super cute.
Yeah,
would've
yeah.
been
I
super
thought
cute.
that was gonna happen as well. But also, you guys notice his mom. She's like the mom in every
Yes.
movie.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like the
Well, how many movies? I think it's four. Is this a fourth
I
movie?
don't know.
guess?
It's-
I don't know.
We just saw her. Yeah.
India's mom.
Oh yeah, the Dostana,
Right.
then Rang the Basanti, then Sing is King, and definitely we have
crazy.
watched another film where she's the mom.
She fights John Abraham in Doom.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's just a default mother, right?
Yeah.
If you
No,
have
she
her as the
doesn't.
mom, then the movie's gonna be a hit.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. We will cover it if she's the mom.
Wait, but
I don't think
before
this was a
that,
hit.
this was a big
It was
box
a huge
office hit.
here.
That was a box office hit.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Critical reception was really like
Did you hear
On the
about this
fence.
movie?
I know that this because the songs were pretty popular.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, we missed the part where he lands at the airport in Australia and he talks to a police officer and he's like, "I'm king," and they immediately take him to the
Yeah, it was.
gangster.
I was like just so dumbfounded how easy it was to get to his like this criminal underworld's hideout.
Yeah.
I didn't
a big-
understand. I thought I missed something. I was like, what am I missing? And I kept like rewinding. I was like, no, he just goes there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that shouldn't
Yeah.
that be a huge part?
Like, how is the police taking him there if they know where he is? Okay, maybe they're in cahoots. That's not too hard to believe.
Yeah.
But also, like, just showing up in a turban, being like, "That's my family." No further questions. You're definitely in Australia now.
We will escort you there. No problem.
You both
And
wear
he-
turbans. You're definitely related.
There's only one other person we know with a turban. By the way, I really like his green turban. That shit was baller.
Yeah.
I liked it. Can they wear any color?
Yeah.
I
Well,
like it.
I was wondering one thing. Winnie can answer this because I didn't grow up in a Sikh community, right? So I was looking at the beard, the trimmed beard, but like whenever I met a Sikh person who wears the turban, they rarely had like a that much of trimmed beard. They usually have like a tendency like a untrimmed beard or a beard that is not that super thinly trimmed. So is it like a fashion choice that the film made, or is it like where is it is it like okay? I don't know.
Is it okay? Like based on religion, not really, but like it's a generational thing, you know, like growing up here, all my uncles didn't trim their beards, but all my brothers, cousins, even before they cut their hair, they all had trimmed beards. Like sometimes they would clean shave also, you know. Sometimes they
I
would keep
see.
it. My brother had the exact same beard. Like I need to ask him if he followed this guy as a fashion role model because he literally had the same style with a turban. So I mean, I think this movie takes a realistic approach. It did get into some controversies from gurdwaras and like Sikh leaders for promoting the wrong image of Sikhs, like showing the trimmed beard, showing them drink and all, how that is not in line with Sikhism. But there's also some people who are just like, well, that is really what the youth is doing. Like young
I
Sikh men,
see.
even if they wear the turban, like they have to integrate, adjust a little bit to fit in wherever they are. So like they're going to shave their beard, they're going to live this lifestyle. So better to like show this movie having both sides of that, you know? They're still promoting good values based on Sikhism, but also
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
kind of
I
living
think there
in
was
it.
a part in
that
the
checks
movie
out.
where they kind of commented on his appearance, like you don't look Sikh or something. Was that something?
Yeah,
Did it?
I think at one point, because when he becomes king, that
King,
you'll
yeah.
come to the plot afterwards. Then he trims his beard more than what he had,
Mm,
and then that point, someone, I think the flower lady speaks in like, what have you done? Like, why are you
yeah.
looking like this?
And I
Kind
think
of
he like
thing.
apologizes playfully and says it's just
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
role or something.
But even he
So they
trimmed like that. Even before that, his beard was pretty much trimmed
yeah,
as
yeah.
well. Like it was
Yeah.
not like a
What are
longer
the
beard.
facial hair rules?
You're just not supposed to cut your hair
Yeah.
at
You
all or
you can
trim.
trim it.
Not really. Not supposed to remove any hair.
Really? But like it's gonna grow out
Trim?
forever.
I don't think so. I mean, so I know some of my uncles they wear, I don't know what you call it in
Yeah, it's
English,
a
but
band kind
there's
of
a
thing.
band that kind of holds it up, and then if you take it out, then it kind of gets bushier. But yeah, it's a big part of Sikhism, and I think it makes a lot of people turn away from it growing up in diaspora because that becomes a whole emphasis on Sikhism. It's like you can't cut your hair, and when you grow up in a non-Indian country, it's
Mm.
very difficult to integrate like that. So
I mean, our
it's a
friend Nirman has a really long hair.
yeah, you know, like Nirman, I think like he's one of the few ones who didn't cut his hair. My brothers, they kept it till they're about 17, 18, and then they got chopped it off. So you can also say the ones that, you know, trimmed their beard, shaved their beard. Eventually they did go on to become adults and cut their hairs because they could
Yeah,
make their own decisions at that
yeah. I think
point.
that's what I've seen. Like I've never seen like a turbaned person with like that much trimmed hair. I mean, they would definitely. I've not seen like with very long beard. They
Yeah.
definitely trimmed, but not like they kept the appearance of like a kind of untrimmed appearance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mostly
But
young teenage boys who just can't yet because their parents won't let them. It's
Yeah.
a few more years.
And what about the alcohol?
Alcohol. You're not supposed to drink if you like in the Khalsa. I mean, yeah, but you know, like Sikhism is not a strict religion. Like do this and you'll go to hell. There is no concept like that. It's just like it's a spiritual religion. It's like if you do this, you won't get as close to God, basically. So Nikki, in your
Mm-hmm.
school, like when the boys had turbans or they wore like the patka, like did they
yeah,
get bullied by
yeah,
other
we
students?
like to call them salapao buns, like dumplings, like the things. Yeah, that's what we used to say to them.
Yeah,
But like they you know they were cool about it. We were all friends. So
yeah.
but I mean I mean today I don't say that to my friends. I don't say that to
Mhm.
mine. Well,
Yeah, Nikki has more Indian Thai Indian friends than
Than you do.
yeah, that is true.
If they go to a Thai public school, would they have had to cut their hair?
no,
No,
they would not.
they don't have to,
They
but
don't have
you'll
to.
rarely find a Sikh in a public school. And I think that there they'd be heavily, a lot more bullied than an international school.
So there's like for Thai people, right? Obviously, in by law, there's like a mandatory military school that we all have to attend during our high school. And the Thai Indians, they also have to go, but they don't have to cut their hair or anything. They have to wear like this, like I wouldn't call it like turban, like something to cover up their hair.
Okay.
And like I remember like the soldiers and the generals, they were they're like racist. Like they just keep mentioning that how long their hair, or like calling them nicknames that refer to their hair. It's like just a normal thing, I suppose.
Yeah.
And like the public school kids would also like try to like make fun and all that. But like I feel like, you know, I'm not gonna speak for my friends, but I feel like you develop like a thick skin for it. Like
Yeah.
And just growing up with like other Thai people don't grow a lot of facial hair. They don't grow long hair. So it's just very different from like Thai aesthetics, like physically what they can do. Like they don't like grow hair that fast. Like
yeah.
yeah.
Come to think of it, like our Thai Indian friends are the ones that have beards first before anybody. Yeah, really.
I mean, I did notice, and when you can just please add to it as we go along, but like the group politics they had in the beginning in the village and stuff, I felt was very different than what we saw before. I don't know if that's a Sikh thing, like the kind of community village.
Like a sangat. Yeah, that's a big part of Sikhism. It's like a sangat. There's a lot of community gatherings.
I think that's very
that might be a village
characteristics of Indian village.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they kind of function like that.
Yeah.
We just didn't see that too much. I thought that was cool.
Have you ever like dwelled upon a lot of villages in the films? Not much, right?
No, I think we
only
have one
only
city.
the yeah, no, not much. So it's mostly have been towns and cities. Like the villages kind of have this kind of. But this was like the village was shown in a like a good characteristics way, right? Like you can portray a village in a brutal way or in a very friendly manner. So I think in this film it was taken as a very like a light-hearted, nice village, like those very optimistic stereotype of village life. So that's why it was very happy go. Oh, that's happy go lucky. That's a two character. Okay.
Oh.
Oh man.
Yeah, I felt like that kind of community aspect, and then when Happy goes to Australia and he's just trying to teach like everyone's the same, and it is very different than what we've been watching before.
Yeah.
So it is interesting to see the Sikhism throughout.
So yeah, I did skip a part. Like they did manage to find Lucky through airport security, and basically like they tried to get Lucky to come back, but obviously he didn't want to come back. He didn't, even though he knew that his father was sick and possibly dying. But Happy tries to convince him to come back many times, and then and then eventually they were on this there's a scene where they're on the boat, and I don't know who Lucky's enemies are. Like nothing is ever established. I don't want to question it, but like you see all sorts of like soldiers and bikers and like I don't know. It's like they say that like there's like a shootout happens, right, with all sorts of people.
Yeah.
And Happy carries Lucky through like by carrying him. Like he literally carries the guy to protect him. But then like because Happy is a bumbling idiot, like he swings Lucky around and Lucky gets hit by a lot of things through his head. And in doing so, he ends up in a coma. Like he's paralyzed. He's unable to speak. And through some hilarious misunderstanding, like his entire gang thinks that like Happy should take over his criminal empire.
Yeah, so he kind of gets into this medical condition. The name was mentioned, but I don't remember it.
that,
But he's basically paralyzed. Like he can see, he can hear, but he cannot talk. And then he could just point his finger, and then like was asking them to like kill Happy, but they think that he wants Happy to take over his empire.
It's the perfect sickness for a comedy movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if the dialogue is like more clever in the native tongue, but like I get the general.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it's just as dog shit as it was here. Okay, cool.
I think so.
It's in Hindi, right? Not Punjabi.
It's kind of dwells between Hindi and Punjabi. Like sometimes it goes in like full on Punjabi mode. It's kind of a Punjabi version of Hindi. Like they're using a lot of Punjabi phrase, a lot of Punjabi sentences, but then they're interweaving it with Hindi.
Okay, so then everyone will understand it, both Hindi
Yeah,
speakers,
mostly. Yeah.
Punjabi
That's
speakers.
no, so that like Hindi speakers can understand it or still have like a Punjabi flavor to it. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I was trying to recall what happens next.
I don't even remember. So he becomes the king.
He becomes the king.
Yeah.
He becomes the king, and then like he realizes that he forgot about the mom that took care of him, the flower seller, and she was like he finds her in like this really like sad state, and we find out that like she is the mother of like her daughter is coming back to Australia, and basically like she lost like the mother lost her husband, and now her family is like poor, so she has to sell flowers to get by. But what her daughter doesn't know is that her daughter doesn't know that they're poor, right?
They used to be rich.
They used to be rich.
And the daughter still thinks that they're super rich, and the mom hasn't told her any differently. Somehow she's supporting university by selling like $100 roses, though we should know. The guy buys the one rose for $100 and said, "I'll only pay $100 to you, old lady." So like, I don't know, maybe it's quite lucrative, but she's not. Yeah, she just said that the daughter will come home and see her as like a middle class woman instead of super rich, which isn't the biggest problem, I think, but.
A huge problem.
Lucky sees like a homeless person on the street. He's like, fuck that. But this flower mom, like, we gotta make her look rich as fuck for her daughter.
Yeah, so the movie takes another left turn where it's like he decides to bring the mom into the mansion and then make her pretend to be the owner, like the matriarch of this whole family, and like all of Lucky's henchmen are now playing as like servants, like one's a gardener, one's like a driver. The femme fatale is like a secretary, who by the way I think is a very funny character.
Yeah,
She's,
I really liked her.
yeah, a lot. And then we find out that like the daughter of this like flower seller is that none other than Sonia, of course. Of course.
Coming back from studying in Egypt. The classic university location.
And she brings like her fiance, who's this fucking jerkwad of a man. He's like this Puneet. He's like an asshole because like he just bosses all these servants around and they want to kill him. But like I think for the next like half hour in the movie, we just see moments where they're like trying to put up with this like this act to show that like the mom is rich. They put up like this facade, right? All the while that Happy is trying to make Sonia happy.
Yeah. But
this
is like my least favorite trope of any film, but we see it a lot in Indian films of like, why is she with this dude? She deserves better. I have decided this, and I'm gonna like make her like me to save her from her bad relationship. And that like trapped me a lot in my youth too. And it really makes you like get angry at dudes and stuff, even though like the girl chose to be with them and like maybe they're happy. Like maybe it has none of your fucking business. Maybe he's not a jerk and maybe he's just an asshole because you keep trying to take his girl,
But I don't think Happy was actively trying to.
Yes, he was. He fell in love with her in Egypt.
No,
he fell in love, but he didn't cross boundaries like that.
Yeah. So what Adam is saying, I think that's what authors do in the film, like the filmmakers do, and they put the actors in a position that like, oh no, they are not wanting it, they are the nice person. Because also Happy here gives a speech to this guy, her fiance, that like, oh no, you should be together, you guys love each other and everything. So Happy, so that like the character is on the safe side, but it's the author's view all the time that, oh, they are not. So that's why I think, because you're taking this moralistic standpoint that this girl shouldn't be with this guy but with the nicer guy, and that's what influences the guys in turn not to be like the guy, act like the main character and be okay with whatever is happening, but to be actively sabotaging other people's relationships so that you can get into, because that's the moralistic standpoint the film is taking.
Yeah.
But also Puneet was so rude, and like, yes, to the workers is one thing. That is already such a big representation of your personality. Like, you're a shitty person if you're an asshole to like wait staff and other people who serve, but also being that rude in front of the mother who he just met. Like, do you guys not find that weird? Like, that's his future mother-in-law, and he's already like
He's
being a complete dick. And I think the movie does that intentionally to make you dislike this character.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the antagonist, and to make you root for Happy in the end.
yeah, to take the character to the extreme level of assholery. Like
Yeah.
there's no subtlety. Like any dumb person can understand that this is an asshole guy.
But it goes back to that question: why is Sonia even with?
Well,
this
that's
Yeah.
the point. And
Yeah.
that's why these movies are weird. Is because
Yeah.
well, then why is she with them? Like, I get there's like abusive relationships, and sometimes they're hard to leave. This doesn't have any of that,
No.
and
No.
like, I just again sure in this movie maybe he is a huge asshole, but I do think a lot of people take that and they're like this girl that I wanted
Yeah.
fuck, like I don't like that guy she's with and he's bad for her, and like
Yeah.
I'm gonna sabotage the relationship to save her, and they're like fuck off, dude. Like she chose to be with him, they're fine, they're happy, leave them alone.
I think absurdity is not with how big of an asshole he was behaving in front of her mother. The absurdity is like her mother is seeing like what kind of guy her daughter is with and like still okay with that and
Right.
does everything to keep that relationship intact. Like that is the weirdest part, like for me.
Yeah. She was so protective in Dostana. She couldn't bring that same protectiveness here.
It's not-
Apparently, being gay is worse than being an asshole.
Have you had that dynamic where like guys come up to you and they're like, the guy you're with right now, like he's bad, I'm better for you. Have you ever had that?
Like in college.
Yeah.
When
That's
yeah.
about the time when you guys do that.
Right, and that's about when you know that they're bad. Because why are you coming and telling me this? Like it's a really poor strategy. I'm pretty sure it has a very low success rate.
It never worked for you?
Oh,
Okay, good. Good for you. Good for you.
I will mention one thing, that when Happy was spending time with Sonia during Egypt, right? They talk about like so Sonia's a lawyer, and then they talk about there's this like one thing that is really like very important to the film, right? They said something like Sonia's a lawyer because she wants to get rid of all the criminals in the world, and then
Like killing them.
yeah, like like they should vanish off the face of the earth, like something like that. Okay, maybe not to that extent, but like
That's what she said.
that's what she
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
All right, so I'm not wrong. So then Happy says that no, he believes that they can get like second chances, basically. Like there's a chance for them to reform. And that's when you realize it took me a while to get this point of the movie, because like so he turns so now that Happy's like the kingpin, right? He like makes all of these like criminals like do good deeds. Like so there's like you have like this a few bits and pieces of montage where like they get sent to like destroy businesses. But then
Yeah.
like instead of working for like the evil white men that they're affiliated with, they were like trying to shut down, like I don't remember what it was, like a food truck with
Yeah.
like these like impoverished colored people.
Yeah.
Africans.
Africans.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're Africans.
They are. They said they're from.
I forgot, but
They said they're from like Nigeria or something.
Yeah, they're like
Nigeria.
No,
but
like
yeah.
didn't they say they're what? They
Did
said like
Somewhere
what
in
country
Africa,
you
I
from?
forgot.
Okay.
Yeah.
did the color filter changed when they
It
go into
did.
their
It
slums?
totally did.
It's like sepia tone.
Yeah, right.
It got so depressing all of a sudden.
They are so black and so poor. The camera changes its lens.
It was so obvious, like that whole segment was like we're supposed to feel like super sorry, and of course like the Lucky's henchmen did feel that way, so like okay, maybe we should help them out. So they have like a change of heart, right? And then like helping like the poor instead, which is like okay, I don't know, that's so easy. Like what, they suddenly have like a change of heart. And it's not just that one scene, there was another one where like they have to like get rid of this little girl, but instead they decide to send her
Kidnap the
kidnap
little
this
blind
little
girl.
This blind girl. But then for whatever reason they took her to the doctor. And then like this little girl makes this little speech like, you killed my mom, but then she told me that God will give me a new set of eyes. And it really did. I don't know. It's just I can't
And then
even
Mika
finish
was
that.
like, the doctor can do that. Like then Mika like really wanted to get like eyes from this doctor, which was really funny. Is this a Sikhism theme of like about like a class of criminals or not? Like, is this a Sikh thing of like, that there's no such thing as a class of criminals, or what is that?
I mean, there's no like explicit mention of criminality, but a big part of Sikhism is seva, which is community service. You just have to try to help people do
Yeah.
as much for the community as you can. That's why like you'll see a lot of like Sikhs doing in the UK and stuff. They'll do like food drives for people. Here, if you go to Gurdwara, also doesn't matter what culture you are, race you are, you can go in, they'll feed you. Like there's a whole concept of community. But criminality, I think this is like trying to see the
No.
good in people, right? Like it's there. Like that's kind of the theme that we're all created equal. We all have God within us. Like it's a bit of a pantheistic. How do you say the word? Pantheism religion.
Yeah, there's
you know?
no one's condemned to hell.
Right, right. So it's like trying to get in touch with that good side of you, and other people can try to like help you see it. You know, so
And did
I
this
think that-
inspire you in theaters when you were 11 on that Sunday that maybe criminals deserve a chance? Like, did any of that resonate with you?
yeah, that's why I'm friends with all of you guys.
Yeah, second chances. Thanks. This is our Make-A-Wish that Winnie's doing for us. We're all about to die of cancer. All I want to do is make a podcast for a year. I was stunned that the lawyer just wanted to like literally murder. She thinks that there's like a whole like separation of humanity where one is just a class of criminals and all they know how to do is commit crime, and we need to like wipe them from earth so that there's no more criminals, and that is the only cause of crime. And then once we just kill every criminal, we're good, and then it'll
Yeah.
be like a really nice life. And that is some real psychotic shit.
And she's writing a book about it.
She's like, how are you a lawyer? How did you meet anyone? Like, what are you talking about?
I think she deserved that boyfriend.
Yeah, that's that's honestly true. Like, she's kind of more of a psycho than the boyfriend is to have that kind
Yeah.
of stand.
True,
That's
true.
funny because I thought that would be a point that you would agree on.
What?
That just like criminals, yeah, you
What?
know, that criminals just deserve
Adam,
to die.
a staunch
That is
communist?
not
No.
that. Why? In what way? I
sounds
completely
communist.
believe the opposite.
Okay, okay.
Wait, no, explain.
no.
Now I
We've
need
had,
to clear my name on a.
I mean, you can
You
remove
wanted
certain
to
parts.
kill the billionaires, not the criminals. I
Yeah.
mean, they're also criminals, but like only
Yeah,
those
by
kind
choice,
of
by
criminals.
choice, not by like lack of opportunity.
Yeah.
It's called. And again, I don't think they're like born that way. Like, if they want to reform, that's fine. But if they don't want to give everything up, then yeah, they can like go against the wall. But that's fine. That's like their choice.
So should someone like Lucky Singh be killed? You think?
No, if he wants to give everything up and be cool, I'm fine with that.
All right.
Yeah.
It's up to him. It's not like his personality defect means he deserves to die. I don't think
Yeah.
that.
Definitely not kill the bag snatcher.
I mean, Adam has a stance of like, you know, you can't, because I'm a bit of like a peace person. Like I'm, you know, I non-violent methods, and I'd like to think that you can talk your way out of most things. And Adam is very much like, no, sometimes you can't.
I'm pro
Makes
violence.
sense. Like he's a lot more pro-violence.
No,
so.
I'm pro violence against like people committing crimes, but the crimes I refer to are like, you know, big mass systemic crimes, not people stealing loaves of bread and shit. I don't think.
Okay.
I think those people deserve that, and no one should kill
Yeah.
them. I don't think there's like it's a genetic trait. I think there's like external factors that make you do stuff.
Yeah. Standpoint wise, stealing food is not a crime.
I don't think trying to eat or live or survive is a crime.
It's not. Then should
Stealing
we?
food is not crime.
All right,
if
let's set up
someone
a
is stealing
restaurant
food,
afterwards.
if someone's stealing food, no, we are. Will you steal a food from a restaurant? No, right? Like it's people who usually steal foods are like who are hungry.
I'll steal food from you, Khilli.
Okay, okay, go ahead, do it.
I'm gonna
I don't
kill
mind.
Nicky for that crime.
No, I'm okay. If you really want to eat that whatever I'm eating, yeah, go.
Steal Fuku's food.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
anyway, so he does a lot of community service. Sonia learns that criminals deserve life.
It's just that, like, I just like the whole, like, look, I get it. It's wholesome, right? Like, people can turn over a new leaf. But just the way it's executed, it's like, are you telling me it takes a bumbling fool to convince a bunch of criminals that through the power of kindness, they can just suddenly, like, have empathy for the misfortune? Like, I just...
I
I
remember.
do believe that though.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Okay.
especially because they come from the same village, they're probably like torn apart from their culture and their values living in Australia. And then you have this old piece of home coming and kind of like reinstilling those values that you already have the foundation for. He's just like reminding you. I can see it working.
Sometimes gangs do the best community service. Like in Mexico and stuff, like gangs that have territories like to help out the community because like you need them on your side. That's
Yeah, of
like
course.
a classic thing where like anywhere where there's gangs, like they actually do take care of the community because you need them. Like that's just doing politics.
That's
I
the
guess,
that's the
like-
whole theme Godfather is built on.
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
the whole thing. Godfather is everyone is good gangster because they're doing good for people.
Yeah.
That's
I guess
Godfather.
I'm pessimistic then. I don't know. Cynical. I don't know.
So cynical for doubting
I mean,
gangs.
okay.
Gangs
I
are
heard
pretty
this,
much the best group of people on the
I
earth.
heard this theory that like Hollywood used to be really not condescending, sorry, supportive, like putting gangsters like mafia bosses in like a high image because there was a lot of mob money running in Hollywood.
For sure.
Bollywood is exactly the same.
Yeah.
So Bollywood was run by a lot of mafia money from that area. So you'll always see in Bollywood films, I mean, even if they're violent, even if they're committing murder, you'll see a human side of them. There are a lot of mob films where it's glorifying the mafias. It's a very common theme in Bollywood as well. Yeah, so that's what I remember that scene where this guy who finds out that he has a long lost, like his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend has a son or daughter.
Yeah.
Daughter, right?
It was a daughter.
Yeah, as a daughter, and who turns out to be his child, and then he was like crying and being sad because that girl left her because he was violent criminal, and then he cries about that to Happy, and then Happy reminds him, "Why are you crying now? Remember how many people you have made orphan." And then the
Yeah.
montage of his down memory lane was so fucking so funny. It was like these people having this like eating outside, like having fun on the beach, and then he's just going killing the father.
This is what I was. This was what I was talking about. Like, just like they introduced like this plot line, and then just gets dropped, dropped right away. Like, you know, it has like they introduced that guy's like lover and child, right? And then like that never comes back.
Even the
ever.
village doesn't come back at all.
They
at
didn't
the
even,
end.
they didn't even
Yeah.
you get only like one quick shot scene of them going back to the village in the credits. But like
Oh,
there
is
was
it?
just-
Oh, okay,
there was
sorry.
just
My
nothing-
But then
bad.
there's Snoop Dogg, so most people are not noticing the village.
He didn't even get to Snoop Dogg. Khilli turned off like an hour into the movie. He's like, I'm done.
But that was a very
He's like,
good
they went
scene.
to Australia.
I read the Wikipedia plot.
Oh gosh, you and your Wikipedia plot.
He's in the toilet earlier before we recorded. He's like, I got it, guys. I saw it. We're good.
Yeah, that was like yeah, that's what Khilli said. There was like an
Yeah.
assassination attempt, and then one of their henchmen meets like that woman, and he gives like the quick speech about how, like, you know, think about all the people you killed, and then he gets like this epiphany or whatever. I just cannot.
But this scene, I think
I don't
it's so effective. It shows how effective his speeches are, and like this comes up throughout the movie where he's like, "People listen to me because I speak the truth. They find it endearing," and he
Yeah.
does have a way with words. Like,
The people endeared to it.
yeah, Nicky finds it cheesy and cringy. I find it impactful.
In this universe, everyone is dumb.
Well,
That's because they're trying to portray Sikhs, I guess, and that's the
Oh
first
my god! Okay,
stereotype
we
they'll
need
go
to
to.
do this
Is
take
that real?
because no, there is a very very racist stereotype in India about Sikhs being dumb. It's like they pass these blonde jokes as Sikh jokes. I mean, it's done by non-Sikhs. Definitely, it's a racist racism towards them, and also like yeah. So like Winnie pointed out that like it kind of plays into that like dumb guy territory.
Yeah,
right?
like there's like dumb, gentle giant reputation that Sikhs have. They're always diluted to this kind of persona where they're kind-hearted, but they're like what do you
like
call it?
dumb,
Dumb-handed,
gentle giants or
empty-handed.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Are they
and
so not like clever or anything, just
No,
dumb
no.
and naive, maybe?
dumb, naive, but kind.
Yeah.
Kind of exactly how Happy Singh is portrayed is like the pure representation that Sikhs have had
Interesting.
predominantly in Bollywood, and that's why I found this movie a lot less interesting and less of a breakthrough watching it as an adult. Because of course, as a child, I don't pick up on these things, and watching it as an adult, I'm like, wow, it's like I'm watching one big
Like a
banta.
minstrel show.
Yeah, and it's also like there's these famous Santa Banta jokes. That's how
Yeah,
you
yeah,
say it,
yeah,
right? Like
you're
Santa
right.
Banta jokes in India that's based on like these two Sikh men. And they're kind of like blonde jokes, yo
They're
mama jokes.
basically
It's
they were basically translations of blonde jokes. Most of
yeah,
them.
yeah, basically. So any dumb jokes you have, you place on Santa Banta, which is just that's how Sikhs kind of got this reputation for being dumb and naive and kind at the same time.
And the producers and actors are not
No one
actually
is
Sikh.
Sikh. I don't see
So
No one
that's
is
pretty
Sikh.
offensive.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
That's
that's
weird.
Bollywood is
that's
super
not a
offensive.
real. That's not
Yeah.
a real turban he's wearing.
But that
right?
sucks that your whole Sikh community went to go see a movie kind of making fun of them, essentially.
That's what happens when you don't have representation.
Right. That's
Yeah.
how little representation we have.
Yeah. So, Happy is spreading his happiness everywhere to these mafia men and women. And basically like his crew is inspired by his kindness, right? All except for one person, which is Mika, the blind brother of Lucky. And Puneet figures out that, hey, maybe Happy is having the hots for my fiance. So then like Puneet and Mika, they conspire to kill Happy at the wedding. Or like I know Puneet wants to marry Sonia to keep her away from Happy, while while Mika wants to seize the throne, basically. Just put it that way.
And also, the henchman.
He orders the
kidnaps-
henchman to kill his brother Lucky, basically. And then like there was a scene where like
No, the henchman, the original henchman, they kind of kidnaps this fiance because they want to get Katrina Kaif and Akshay Kumar together.
yeah, they were. That's true. Yeah, they were trying to break them up,
Yeah.
just so that like because they realized that like Happy was in love with Sonia.
And Sonia is also in love with Happy and she doesn't realize it yet.
Correct, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just anyway, yeah. So they tried to do that, and but Happy being the nice person he is, he doesn't want to take Sonia for himself. He just wants her to be happy, which is which shows his.
Do you think that's
character.
true? I don't buy that at all.
I think they were just trying to show his like super heart of gold moment.
But I don't like. We keep saying he's nice. Is he being nice?
He was
I thought
kind
the
of being
vibe
nice.
is nice.
Yeah.
Maybe like Mr. Nice Guy.
But he's like a bumbling idiot too that ruins things and doesn't really think things through. And I just don't.
He's only a bumbling idiot when he doesn't have something philosophical or deep to say. But when the script requires him to say something meaningful, he gets all wise. And
That is
everything.
true.
Because like his
It is-
actions are not like nice.
What do you
like
mean? He told them to take all the money from the safe and go distribute it to poor people.
that's good. If he's not doing anything with his own actions, yes.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
he's like hurting and physically damaging everything around
it's
him.
not his fault that everything he touches just burns and
I
crashes.
think it is. I think it is. I'd be pissed. Yes, but
Yeah.
he's nice. Okay, cool.
So with all that being said, like there's an assassination attempt on Lucky. They threw him off. They throw him down the stairs, and in doing so, he bumps his head. So then he regains consciousness. Right, that's very easy.
Yeah.
And then
It's the most convenient sickness I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah, he learns of Mika's deception. So he goes to the wedding where like all the characters are there. They're about to get married, and then like some fight. So like there's a convoluted joke where like I forgot her name. The femme fatale tries
Yeah.
to get guns from everybody. So then like nobody has guns, just to put it simply, and then they break into this like all out brawl where they're fighting over, and then in the chaos that was like happening, right, there was like the what do you call that guy? The guy marries Sonia and Happy by accident.
Yeah.
That was like how convenient. And then
How
like
weird how that works.
and then the whole weird part about it is like Puneet suddenly says, "Oh, I realized maybe this is destiny. All right, I'll give you my fiance." And like that, he just gives her up so
Yeah.
easily. Like
I tried to kill you, but now through a legal loophole, you're married to Happy, and I support this.
Not even a legal loophole. Yeah, it was like what was that?
They were
Because they were
holding
just
hands.
holding hands and
Holding
just taking
hands.
turnaround. It was just like a very Hindu wedding
so
trope, and they're like Sikh people, but they're doing Hindu marriage somehow, Hindu wedding. Because I guess like Sonia is not Sikh, I guess here. But anyway, and then there is another thing like where did you realize the father of the fiance is played by the same actor?
what was up with that?
Yeah, why did they do
Mika.
that?
What was the point
And
of
then
that?
it doesn't play any
Not at
part of the
all.
story.
Because he has weird makeup.
Yeah, he
And
has
I'm
this-
like, why is he like? When is he gonna take the makeup off and reveal something? Right? Because it looks like it's shitty makeup, and it clearly looks like a guy with old person makeup and never used.
And at one point, Puneet even looks at Mika and was like, "Oh, you look like my father."
Yeah, I thought it would play some role at
Yeah.
the end, like they will dress like someone, like one of the character will dress like other character and do certain things or some. Nothing happens. I think it was a trope for the audience, like the audience gonna expect something out like that, and then it will not happen, and that's the joke on audience. Like, oh, that will not happen.
There's no payoff with a lot of
No.
plot threads. None of that.
Maybe the actor just didn't show up. He couldn't make it for the day of filming, and they're like, "All right, you're doubling up."
I think like
Just look infirm and sit in this chair.
I
He
think
doesn't-
like
they just keep cutting away. He doesn't do anything.
I think the contract, whatever they had with Javed Jaffrey, the actor, is like this much time you have to be on screen, and then the character Mika doesn't have that much on the screen time, so they were like, okay, we'll give you another character.
Yeah, maybe, probably. Is he?
It's super weird, because I do like him. He has like a presence. He's like a
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
Yeah.
actor.
He was an actor. He's a dancer. He's a anchor. He has done like a lot of. He's a comedian. He's many things.
He's
He's a very
Puneet's
talented
father.
person. Yeah, he has also dance number, right?
He has a whole dance number being like a total badass, and he was kind of the coolest character in the movie. I think.
Yeah,
But
None
also,
of that made any sense to me.
I didn't get it either. Like I don't get why he was. So he said he's not blind, but then he actually is.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
so there was a scene where Puneet goes to meet the guy that is going to off Happy, and it turns out it was Mika.
Hmm.
And then Mika, it's like we think that Mika is actually not blind or deaf. He was
Yeah.
saying that there was a piece of dialogue where he was saying like, "Oh, I tricked my entire family for years
Yeah.
that I'm deaf and blind." But as soon as
And,
Puneet,
and then there's a whole dance number about doing that,
sure,
about being able to see and shit and being cool.
yeah, but then when Puneet learns of that, he leaves, and then his henchman said, "Oh, so you were pretending to be blind, deaf this whole time? He must not know that." It was like, so then they just did this whole like
yeah.
joke, like another one up or whatever. Like
Mhm.
it was so weird. Like none of that. The payoff was just so.
So he was pretending to be not blind in front of Puneet so that Puneet
Yeah.
takes him seriously. That's it.
I don't
That's
know.
it. That's the whole gag.
So his goal this entire time is to become the king, right? Like he wants Lucky's position, and somehow he thought that acting blind and deaf was the best way to get there.
But also,
No,
no, because
he was actually blind.
he is
and
blind
deaf.
and is pretending not to be.
Yes, I know he's pretending, but okay,
Like for
okay,
to
wait. That,
convince Puneet.
yeah, no, I know. Okay, never mind. Leave that.
So do we know the official story on Mika
No,
though?
I'm pretty sure he's blind.
No, he is blind. Like when they made the joke, but
Okay.
yeah.
And the whole song was just
Laps.
him faking it. But he does a very bad job faking being blind in all the other times. That's why it's funny. Like in all the other scenes, he's like, I'm not really blind. You know, I was doing this on purpose. I'm dancing with the mannequin on purpose. But then he does a whole dance number where I'm like, oh wow, he actually is pulling it off. So either he can pretend to not be blind well or bad. And you're
Yeah.
shown both. And I don't know which one's
I
which.
think we're looking too much into this character.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. At the end, I think he gets the glasses from Japan and he's able to see.
No, he goes to the doctor with the little girl and fixes his eyes. Mr. Beast, he goes on Mr. Beast's show and gets his eyes fixed.
No, because there's a scene when the whole wedding brawl is breaking out and he gets a phone call and he's like, "Oh, is the glasses ready? Is it being delivered?" Like,
And like we get this like
Yeah,
stupid
convenient.
ass joke where he's wearing the funny headgear.
Yeah.
We're supposed to laugh at that. And that's the
What
finale.
an idiot
right?
blind guy trying to fix his blindness, idiot. Look at that dude in crutches trying to walk.
So yeah, so when Puneet gives up the Sonia to Happy, the only problem left is that Mika wants to kill all of them. And that's when you see Lucky swoop in to save the day and say like, you know, I knew your plan all along. And then like you get like this final scene where I'm gonna put this in the simplest way possible, but Happy diffuses the situation by like talking about the importance of like being kind, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Like they made him feel like, all right, you know, no one, like Mika was saying stuff like, nobody felt sorry for me, and that made like Lucky say that, when I was mob boss, I was never happy because I was ruling people through fear. Am I getting this right?
Mhm.
I think so.
Yeah, you're getting the gist of it.
And they plan to keep making money somehow by being nice.
Something nice or something, and then they just resolve everything by like realizing like, oh, maybe we should go back and be nice, and that's the end.
That's the
Sounds
end.
Yeah, I
like
mean,
a
it-
children's bedtime story right now, and in the end, everyone lived happily ever
Yeah,
after.
literally is what it is. It's like we should be nice, yeah, okay, and then Snoop Dogg shows up. Like that's it.
It just
Smoke
felt like
weed and you'll be nice.
it's like a mom telling the kid like, and everyone dies. The end, and that's it. A happy ending.
Yeah, he doesn't go back to the village, right?
They did go back to the village, but like that creates like a plot hole for me because it's like, these are wanted criminals.
Yeah.
They haven't done anything to redeem themselves.
Worry not, there's a sequel. It's called Sing is Bling.
I don't think it's
It's
like,
not connected.
it's
no.
not connected.
Aw.
That's how they do it.
So-
They just keep the same actors.
Why is it Kinn?
Oh, well, I just read it on Wikipedia. Nikki, you probably saw this as well, but pretty much they went to a numerologist,
Yeah.
and numerologist suggested having an extra N for luck. And so the sequel, Sing is Bling, has 2 eyes.
Yeah.
Bling.
All right, so
That's
let's do the
different.
fear stare scale. Whitney, I think this is what you've been waiting for this whole time, the staircase moment.
Quite literally.
What was your staircase moment in this movie?
When he falls down the stairs.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
And
He
it's-
did it. A character fell down the stairs. We all
Fear
clapped.
upstairs.
It's actually a very like opposite effect of like what Fear of Stairs, the origin of Fear of Stairs.
That's
like,
true.
you know, like-
This fall cured him.
yeah.
Didn't kill him.
And I wanted him to die. I didn't want him to keep going.
No, but the actual staircase moment is probably when the daughter ends up being the woman he fell in love with in Egypt, right? Did you guys see that cap coming?
What I didn't see coming is that they had to pretend to be servants, like the mafia. That was it for me.
What I didn't see coming was that Mika was pretending not to be blind, but then actually was blind again.
Yeah, for me as well, that was like a because I can't remember because when the daughter's coming gonna be Katrina Kaif because Katrina Kaif is number one. Is like a
Yeah.
big actor, and we saw her already introduced and being a love interest. I'm like, definitely she's gonna come back. And then when she said, "Oh, my daughter is abroad," like she coming around, oh, definitely it's gonna be Katrina
I
Kaif.
did
No one
see that
else.
coming.
Okay.
When the mother did say like, "Oh, I have a daughter who's coming back from abroad," like they introduced us to Sonia before that. So then, I guess maybe I've watched enough movies to know where this is going.
Well, I'd be
Bollywood
so
experts.
pissed if they never talked about her again. I'd be like, why did we spend 20 minutes in Egypt with this whole like musical number? Then you just is like, well, that was it. That was our Egypt time. Like my nice memory, and it never came back. That would be so shitty. All right, dance floor clause. There were musical numbers. What was your favorite?
Sing is King.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg.
Okay, so this was not in the movie, but it was an after credits music video.
But there was a Sing is King in the movie as
there
well.
was a
Yeah.
Sing is King in the movie without Snoop Dogg.
Right,
Yes.
And then they
right.
redid a
Yeah.
reprise with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
keep doing the chorus throughout the movie.
Sing
Yeah.
is king, sing is king.
I like the
sing
bit
is
of that because it
king.
was done by Honey Singh, I guess, and Honey Singh was like a really good rap, like a hip hop artist who was working with in Bollywood.
There was some songs by Mika Singh also.
Oh
who
yeah,
was
it was
also
Mika
very
Singh. It's
yeah,
not
yeah. I
Honey
think
Singh,
it's Mika
sorry.
Singh
But
who is
oh, yeah,
very
Mika
famous.
Singh was the singer of
Punjabi.
that
yeah.
song, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There was also that song where like Happy was singing like dissing the groom in the beginning. Do you remember that?
Oh, that's like a Bhangra ballet song, but I don't remember the name. But that's a song that's commonly played in weddings now.
Okay.
It's very dancey.
Every
vibe.
movie we talk about, we're like, this is played in weddings now. Like, how many wedding songs do they play?
It's a lot, right? It's like a huge
Yeah.
playlist. Where just
Yeah,
Wow,
but we're also watching. I think like the movies with like some of the most classic song hits. And this movie definitely in Punjabi weddings I attend because like Punjabis just need to like Bhangra, and these are all
This
ballet songs.
this year was like, or this era was like, Snoop Dogg was just doing whatever, and I think like anyone could just pay him to be in any song. I remember the story, Insane Clown Posse, ICP, the guys with the
Clown makeup.
the clown makeup. Yeah, They hired Snoop Dogg around this time as well, and all he wanted was $20,000 in a briefcase in cash because he just like didn't want to do stuff with the label anymore. So he was just like, whatever, just pay me. And so that's what I thought happened here. And in the video, it looks like he's on a green screen the whole time. So I thought he was doing like a Pitbull type thing. You know how like Pitbull's just like never in the music video. He's just always like in a cutaway green screen shot. And I thought Snoop was in that, but then it does show him with the director and the other actors for one scene. So like he flew all the way there to be on a green screen and then have one shot in a chair. It was weird. Like you should use him if he's there.
I don't think it'll take much for Snoop Dogg to go to India.
No.
Just take him to the hills. He'll go for the hash alone.
I think he didn't have much of the production timeline because shooting that kind of music video takes like a long 4 hours. So I think he was just open for like 2 hours or something, and then like, oh, just put the green screen. We'll think in the post like what to do.
Yeah,
with it.
sit in the chair pose
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
just like kind of dance around a green screen for a while.
Yeah.
Pretend to react to like Indians dancing around you. That's all he's doing.
Yeah.
He's doing the Pitbull moves.
I like the song. I think they have a solid.
Yeah.
I
There were a
think
lot of
we'll get
bangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Family Feud factor. Mika's dad.
I mean, there's a lot about themes about family, right?
But less feud this time.
Yeah. I
There
guess
wasn't a
because-
lot of like mom breakdowns either.
No, there was no mom actually. Like only like there was like this love interest's mom,
Yeah.
but she was not being a very mommy. Yeah.
I think it is kind of like a little found family, you know, like your community is your family. Cause like the friend that goes with Happy, like hates him. He's the one that like wants Happy to never come back, but then he becomes friends and starts protecting him, and all these gang members are protecting each other. Like, I don't know. It was a very kind of like unconsequential. There's no stakes or drama.
It was like a peaceful family almost. I mean, despite all the gangster criminal behavior, but like at the end scene there's like 15-20 guns at the wedding and nobody dies. Like there's no shootout.
Yeah.
Nobody dies. It's
There's no real
They're-
action, and the bad guy is just kind of a jerk.
yeah, they're just dealing.
Jacob died a slow death that day.
They didn't introduce any gun, dude. Spice level, regional heat check. Who has been to Australia and or Egypt?
So I actually thought they were gonna, knowing that the movie will take place in Australia, I thought we were gonna see some fun stereotypes of Australians, but no, there wasn't. The only confusion I got was, are they actually Australians or are they British?
Yeah, which I mean might be British. Like, yeah, it was a total Dostana treatment where like we didn't see any Americans in that really.
There was
You
a lot
see-
of white people in musical numbers in the background.
Well, that's I
There
mean
was
they're
this-
bread and butter. That's literally what gets them off in the theater.
There was
Again,
this-
is watching white kids dance to Indian numbers. Like,
There was this American soldier in Dostana.
yeah, the gay one.
Yeah.
That was it, just like criticized. But yeah, there's no Australians. We don't see the opera house. We don't see anything.
Do you guys notice though that there's a few different gangs that they show, right? And there's a huge racial divide between the gangs because there's like a gang full of black people, and then they show this like East Asian criminal gang,
So,
and then
there
there's
was
this
also like a
Sikh-
biker gang.
Yeah. So I think we just saw the underworld of
The underworld,
Australia.
racially divided underworld.
Which probably is true. So accurate heat level check.
And you just know any
One.
Australians that watch this movie are going to be like, get these immigrants out of my country.
Yeah, they're like this sing gangster, get him the fuck out. What's the moral of the movie?
Be kind.
To criminals.
Only. Okay, moving on. How'd you guys feel about the movie?
I'd go for a 3.
3.
That's honestly higher than.
Yeah, it's just from the dance numbers, in my opinion.
Dance numbers, like a bit of the family. There's a few serious moments. That's like a strong 3 for me.
It's an okay movie if you're willing to throw your brain away
That's it.
for a little bit and watch it.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you show like your younger family members this?
Yeah, because again, there's very limited Sikh representation in Bollywood. Like this is one of the few ones we have, and it's not utterly terrible. Like it still has a good messaging overall.
Are you gonna play it for them?
I don't know. Probably not.
Okay,
like-
well then
Show,
Yeah.
show them before they become adult.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when they're still in
they
a
can
nascent
transform
stage.
into you if you just see this. If you recreate this movie to theater, hire a bunch of people to be there, they can like grow up and be like a human rights activist and like hip hop. Okay, what's the next movie? I'm gonna pronounce it wrong. So what is it?
Gone,
Gone.
which means who? Question mark.
Yes. Kraun question mark.
Kaun.
No,
Kaun.
Kraun.
Kaun.
It's Kaun.
No, listen to the white person about Hindi words.
Gone. This means who?
Gone.
I changed it. The movie is now Kron that we're watching.
Okay, Adam didn't believe us just now. He just Googled it. That's why he has conceded.
No, yeah, it's Khan. So we're gonna watch Kaun. Gone. We're gonna watch that next week. Please tell your friends to listen to the podcast and don't shit talk us on YouTube. Anything else?
Sing is king.
Sing is king. Sing is king.
Ding, ding, ding.
Bye.